Greetings, everybody. Jeffrey Guterman with the Strat-O-Matic Network, and we've got a game this afternoon here. It's April 12th in our 1962 replay, and it is the third of a three-game series. Between the Minnesota Twins and the Kansas City Athletics in Kansas City. Pitching for Minnesota will be Don Lee. It's his first start of the game, of the season. He's a right-hander. And for Kansas City, it will be Norm Bass. Lee was eventually traded to the Angels, and Bass, pitching for the Orioles, has a 6.09 ERA. He only had 75 innings pitched with 10 starts. I'm going to make a pot of coffee. And then we'll be ready to play this ball game. So I ask you to stand by. And the game should start in about 5 minutes. Stand by, please. Good afternoon, Kathy. Good afternoon. I'm just making some coffee here. And once that's ready, we'll be ready to play this ball game. And I'm sorry about the scheduling situations. Sometimes I'm fickle and I don't know what I'm doing until I do it. I'll have the lineups in just a couple minutes. The Twins took the first 2 games of this 3-game series. Again, we're April 12th, still early on, game 19 out of 1,600 plus. For Minnesota, leading off is Lenny Green in center, Vic Power at first base, Harmon Killebrew in left field, Bob Allison in right, Earl Battey, the catcher, Bernie Allen at second base, Zoilo Versalles at short, Rich Rollins at third, and the pitcher with no record, his first start of the year, Don Lee, eventually traded to the Angels. For Kansas City A's, leading off Dick Hauser at shortstop. Thank you, Richard. Bobby Del Greco in center field. Jerry Lumpy at second. Norm Seaburn at first. Leo Posada in left field. Wayne Caussey at third. Gino Simoli in right field. Joe Askew catching. And pitching today, starting for Kansas City, is Norm Bass. And he is a right-hander with a 6.09 ERA. Just to remind everybody, because we're early in this replay, the Minnesota Twins came in second place in this replay with 91 wins. They were, of course, behind the New York Yankees. And the Kansas City A's came in ninth with 72 wins. I'm going to get myself a cup of coffee, and we will start this ball game. Attendance for this game, you're not going to believe this, 854. My Lord. 854. Charlie O'Finley is not happy. And the Kansas City Athletics take the field. It's Norm Bass on the mound. Bass is still alive. He's 85 years old. He played parts of 3 seasons, all with the Kansas City. He had a 13-7 lifetime record, and he was 2-6 this year. Bass taking his warm-ups. He took up table tennis, ping pong in the 70s, became a ranked player in his age groups. He won a bronze medal at the 2000 Paralympic Games. Arthritis forced him to retire from baseball. Norm Bass. And Bass is ready now. And leading it off for Minnesota is Lenny Green. And you know, Lenny Green played a lot this year. 271 average, 619 at bats for these Twins. Lenny Green died in 2019 at age 86. He played 12 seasons in the major leagues. This is him when he was on the Washington Senators. And then they moved to Minnesota. These are the original Minnesota Twins, the original Washington Senators. Of course, the 61 Senators were an expansion team. And Green steps into the batter's box. Here's Bass now. The windup and the pitch to Green. That is 6-2 left-handed, single 1-5. And that is a liner to second, caught by Lumpy, 1 out. Now Vic Power. Power also an everyday hitter, 290, 16 home runs. Vic Power died in 2005. Kathy is for Kansas City. He died at age 78. Vic Power. And Brian has arrived. Welcome. Here's Bass now. And the pitch to Power. That is 2-7 right-handed. That's a base hit for Power. 1 out single. He's a 1-18 Bass. 1-19 being held. No, he's a 1-19 not being held. With a lead, but it's only a 3. Just missed. Here's Killebrew now. Power on first, 1 out. The pitch from Bass. 3-7 right-handed, walked him. Killebrew draws a walk, making it first and second with 1 out. And here's Bobby Allison. From the stretch, Bass. That's 3-5, right-handed, walked him, and the bases are loaded with Twins. Here in the top of the first, just underway. And here's Earl Battey. Infield is back for the double play, Bass, and the pitch to Battey. 1-7, grounds it to third. That was bases loaded with the infield back. 2. It's hit to Kelsey, He throws to second, Lumpy for 1, and over to Seaburn at first for the inning-ending double play. It was a 1-7 right-handed. So Bass gets out of that. No runs, 1 hit, 2 walks, 2 left. And after a half, it's Minnesota nothing. Kansas City coming up. Don Lee is the pitcher for Minnesota. Don Lee. Lee is still alive. He's 90 years old. He's the son of Thornton Lee, who played in baseball in the 30s and 40s. And his father died at age 90 in 1997, so longevity runs in the family. Don Lee pitched 10 innings, and Dick Hauser leads it off. I did not know that, Brian. Here's Lee now. The pitch to Hauser. 6-6, right-handed, pops it up to short for Versailles. 1 out. And now Bobby Del Greco is the batter. Bobby Del Greco. Bobby Del Greco died in 2019, age 86. I don't know why he's hanging out with 2 of the 3 Stooges when he was with the Phillies. Okay, here's Lee now. The wind-up and the pitch to Del Greco. That is 3-7, right-handed, base hit Del Greco. 1 out, Del Greco on first. 1-15. Not being held. And here's Jerry Lumpy. Lee from the stretch. The pitch to Lumpy. 3-4, right-handed, ballpark slash. In Kansas City, it's 15, left-handed. And that's a liner to second. Caught by Bernie Allen, 2 away. And Norm Seaburn comes up to the plate. 2 outs with Del Greco. Don Budden, oh yes I do, Joel. I have a Don Budden update. You have a good sense of humor. Don Budden is, with the Houston Colt 45s, is dry as a bone. and with a very nice tint. Dry as a bone with a very nice tint, as you can see. Thank you for asking. I was trying to figure out what you meant, and then I put it together. I may be slow, but sometimes I get things. He has character indeed. Seaburn steps in for Kansas City. Seaburn has 4 runs batted in the first 2 games. No home runs yet. Here's Lee and the pitch to Seaburn. That's 1-7 right-handed, double 1-7. It's a base hit for Seaburn. Del Greco rounding second, goes to third and holds. First and third, 2 outs. And Leo Posada comes up in a clutch situation. Posada died in 2022 at the age of 88, but right here he looks like a kid. Leo Posada stepping in the batter's box. He was born in Havana, died in Miami, played parts of 3 seasons. Here's Lee now, the pitch to Posada. That's 2-6, and he flies it to right. This should end the inning. Allison is under it, he makes the catch, and the side is retired. No runs, 2 hits for Kansas City. Both were left on after 1. It's a scoreless ball game. Oh, that's good coffee. Real good coffee. Okay, here's Norm Bass. Bernie Allen leads it off for Minnesota. Here's the pitch from Bass. 4-3, left-handed, flies to right, our first X today. Samolia, 2-9. In right field. (2-9), 16-2. F3 gets to it. I notice they even get crisper once they get some coffee on them. That's going to be a 4-8-13. Samolia, E9. 13. And he makes the catch. So Allen is retired, 1 away. And here's Zoilo Versalles. This Twins team should be a good team to challenge the Yankees this year. Here's Bass now. 3-10 right-handed, pops it up behind the plate, and it's Askew making the catch, 2 away. And now Rich Rollins comes up. Here's Bass. The pitch to Rollins. 2-4. Ballpark slash. That's a 6. That might go through. And it does. Against for the right-hander, it's a single. A 2-out single for Rollins. 1 to 15. 1 to 16, not being held with a 2 lead. Doesn't get it. And here's Don Lee, the pitcher. He is a 3 WR. You could see some stains here from a long time ago. And the general tint, because they start white, is due to dirt from my hands. Here's the pitch to Lee. That is 1-8, and oh, that's off his own card, a base hit. Rollins rounds second, goes to third and holds, and Don Lee helping the cause with a single right off his own card. And this will be a clutch situation for Green. Lenny Green. Green steps in the batter's box. Bass gets the sign from the stretch. Clutch situation. Here's the pitch to Green. 1-7 right-handed, flies it to center. And that's for Del Greco. He makes the catch. And the side is retired. No runs, 2 hits. And both are left on by Norman Bass. We're in the middle of the second. It's a scoreless game. Don Lee on the mound now for Minnesota. Wayne Kelsey will lead it off. Wayne Kelsey. Kelsey's still alive. 87 years old. Can you believe that? 87. Okay, Lee gets the sign from Battey. The wind-up and the pitch to Kelsey. That's 2-10. Grounds it to second. And Allen has it. Throws it over to Power. 1 away. Now Gene Simoli is the batter. .55, right-handed, struck him out. First strikeout in the ball game, 2 away. And here's Joe Askew. Lee into his windup. Here's the pitch. That is 6-10, right-handed, flies it to right for Allison. He makes the catch. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Lee. And after 2, it's a scoreless ball game. The A's take the field. Vic Power to lead it off for Minnesota. There's no score. Top of the third. Here's Bass. And the pitch to Power. 1-5. Grounds it to second for Lumpy. 1 out. Now Harmon Killebrew, he walked left on in the first. The pitch from Bass. 6'4", right-handed, flies to center X. Del Greco, 227. (8-2). F2 gets to it. E27, 912. Whoops. He can't be an E27. That must be an error. It's an E7. Oh my. E7, 5912. And he makes the catch. That was just an error. Oh, it says 7. Yeah, that's minus 2.7. Yeah. I was just reading it wrong. 2 outs now. And here's Bob Allison. The pitch from Bass. 111, right-handed. That's a ballpark blast by Allison. He has end power. It's a 13 in Kansas City, but it's going and it's gone. Bob Allison has just hit a 2-out home run to put Minnesota ahead. 1-0. Let's look at that again. 111 right-handed. Ballpark blast. 13 right-handed in Kansas City. And it's gone. That is the first home run for Allison this year. And his third run batted in. He's 5 for 10 on the season. One nothing Minnesota. Here's Earl Battey, the catcher. He is a 1 behind the plate, -3. He grounded into an inning-ending double play in the first. Here's the pitch from Bass. 111, right-handed, grounds it back to Bass, and he throws it to Seaburn, and the side is retired. 1 run, though, on the home run by Bobby Allison. And in the middle of the third, it's 1-0 Twins. Lee comes out. Bass will hit. Bass is a 1 WR, the pitcher. Okay, Bass in the batter's box. Here's Lee and the pitch. That is 5-3, right-handed, grounded to first X for power, 112. (112), 10-1. He gets to a G1, E12, 5-8-9. Oh, and he boots it. An error by Power, it happens. And Bass is on. He's the tying run. First error of the game. go back to top of the order here. Dick Hauser married my mother's second cousin. I guess that second cousin would be a third cousin to me, maybe. Hauser is 0 for 1. Here's the pitch from Lee. That is 2-7, right-handed. Flies it to center. And under that is Green, 1 out. Now, Bobby Del Greco is the batter. Ah, 1-0 Twins. Bass on first for the A's with 1 out. Here's Lee now. The pitch to Del Greco. That is 4-4, right-handed, fly ball center X. Green, a 2-2. Two, 9-2. He gets 2 at F2. 9-10. It's going to be an F2 with a runner on first. And he makes the catch, runner holds. So 2 fly balls to Green out in center, with Bass on first, having reached on the error by Power to lead off the inning. And now Lee will face Lumpy. The pitch to Lumpy. 5-8, left-handed, 1-1-2. It's a base hit. 2 asteroids. Bass rounding second, goes to third. Well, thank you, Rick. I'm glad you're enjoying. Here's Seaburn now in a clutch situation. Seaburn singled. He's 5 for 10 this year. Here's the pitch from Lee. That's 4-12, left-handed, grounds it back to Lee X. 4-7. 4-7, 3-4. It's going to go through for an S1 base hit. 6-9-11 E7. Whoa, it's an S1. Bass scores, it's unearned. Lumpy goes to second. And it's a tie ball game. A clutch single by Seaburn that got past Lee. First and second, 2 outs, and Posada is the batter. Inside for a ball to Posada. Lee trying to get out of this. From the stretch, Lee. And that's a swinging strike by Posada. 1 ball, 1 strike. Lee is ready. Here's the pitch. 6-5, right-handed, grounds it to short X. There's Sayes, 227. That's 11-2. He gets to a G1. And Versailles in E27, 4-8-10. And he makes the play, and the side has retired. But there was one run. On 2 hits, the error by Power. And he's a 1, but he made the error. And after 3, it's a 1-1 ball game. We'll take a little break, and I will be back in just about 2 or 3 minutes to continue this ball game. My name is Jeffrey Guterman, and this is the Strat-O-Matic Network. Well, Jeffrey Guterman back here in Studio B. I'm in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. It's raining here, but it's not raining in Kansas City. It's a 1-1 ball game, and Norm Bass comes out to pitch the top of the 4th for Kansas City. I broadcast all games, Sports Time Machine, all games. Okay, leading it off for Minnesota is Bernie Allen. All tied here at 1. Bass into his windup. His first endurance will be next inning. That's 4-7, left-handed, single 1 to 5. It's grounded to second, and it's stopped by Lumpy, and he throws to Seaburn, 1 away. Those are a couple of good ball players they have. Hauser's decent, Del Greco. I think the pitching is where they have some problems. Here's Zoilo Treaty of Versailles now. He popped to the catcher, Joe Askew. Okay, Bass, the windup. The pitch to Versailles. 4-10, right-handed. Fly ball left field. Posada going back, and he makes the catch. 2 away. Rich Rollins coming up. With 2 outs, nobody on, top of the 4th. All tied at 1, and this is the final game of a 3-game series. Twins took the first 2. It's April 12th in our 1962 replay. I'm glad I started this replay off playing all games, Sports Time Machine, since you asked, because with the 69 replay, of which we're starting the World Series tomorrow, Game 1, 2 p.m., Atlanta at Baltimore. I only started broadcasting all games at the end of July in the schedule. In other words, I did August and September, 2 months, all games with rare exceptions, not doing so, very rare. And that seemed like a whole lot to me. That, Lord, I mean, it took over a year, well over a year. And but it's nice to have all games from the beginning. Okay, Rollins in the batter's box. Bass into his windup. Here's the pitch to Rollins. That's 4-3, right-handed, fly ball right X. Simoli at 2-9. That's 4-2. Simoli gets 2 at F1. E9, 6-7-8. And he makes the catch. And it's a 1-2-3 for Bass. Middle of the 4th, 1-1 game. I like playing live together. This is Sports Time Machine. I follow exact lineups, including pitchers, starting pitcher. If a player is not carded, I have the option of using someone else or a nameless player. I also look at who relieved in real world and use that only as a guideline. I don't necessarily have to follow that. And I didn't put it in yet for this team. I put who pitched in relief in the replay in the prior game so I can track and make sure I don't use people 2 days in a row. Sometimes I'll have to go back and look at a game before this one. But Bonikowski came in for the Twins. He got the win. Diego Segui pitched again. Feister and Osinski. They're using Feister again. Osinski had a day's rest, so he'd probably be the first go-to. Rick, it's, Dick Hauser is a non-blood relative, if you know what I'm saying. I guess he's a cousin once removed. With me, he may be twice removed. I don't know. He married my mother's second cousin, and who she is, I don't know. Okay, Bass. That's it for Bass. Here's Lee now, bottom of the fourth. And Wayne Kowsey leads it off for the A's. Paid attendance, 854. Go look at it on Baseball Reference, but 2 people already left the game. So let's make that 852 here. Oh, I remember that. I had no idea it was Hauser. I remember the play. Okay, here's Lee now. The pitch to Kowsey. That's good to know. 2-6 right-handed, grounds it to first. And Power takes it to the bag, 1 out. Power had that very costly error on a ground ball hit by Bass to lead off the third. He ended up coming home on the base hit by Seaburn. Now here's Gino Simoli. Struck out in the second by Lee. Here's the pitch from Lee. That is 4-7 right-handed. Struck him out again. And that's the second strikeout for Don Lee. 2 away. And now the catcher, Joe Askew. Yeah, well, you know, Steinbrenner was quick. He was quick on that. I hear you, Joel. It's a personal preference, absolutely. Here's Lee and the pitch to Askew. That is 2-12 right-handed. Lines it to third, caught by Rollins. And 1-2-3 for both pitchers here in the fourth. It's still 1-1 after 4. And Norm Bass takes the mound. This will be his first endurance inning. Oh, excuse me. It's all right. Okay, Bass is ready. And Lee comes out. He singled in the second. Lee steps in the batter's box. Oh, that's good coffee. Here's Norman Bass now. And the pitch. 4-6, right-handed, and that's another base hit for Lee. This one off Bass's card. The first one is off Lee's card. So Lee is on first, the go-ahead run. Remember, Bass has a 6.09 ERA. Here is Lenny Green now. From the stretch, Bass. 3-4, right-handed, ballpark slash. It's a 10, left-handed. And that goes through for a base hit for Lenny Green. It's first and second with no outs. And Vic Power is the batter. The pitch from Bass. 4-7, right-handed, walked him, so Bass has loaded him up, and he has reached fatigue. 4-7, right-handed. And the manager is coming out. Kansas City's manager. It's Hank Bauer, who many of you will remember eventually became the manager of the Orioles. He managed the 1966 World Champion Orioles, I believe. Hank Bauer is taking Bass out. That's it for Bass. Bass pitched 4 innings. He has not retired a batter here in the 5th. 6 hits allowed. He walked 3. No strikeouts, and has allowed 1 run thus far, but he's responsible for the bases loaded and nobody out. Let's see who's coming in. Just looking ahead a little bit to make sure some people don't start, and I could use them when they're both starters and relievers. It will be John Wyatt. John Wyatt, the right-hander. John Wyatt coming in. His first, I believe, his first appearance on the season. Actually, no, he pitched 3 2/3 innings and allowed 6 runs. I assume in the first game of the season. Well, we're going to use him again. He has, I should have looked to see his record. He has no record. Wyatt a +2 hold. Okay, he's taking his warm-ups. And it's a tall order. Bases loaded, no outs, with Harmon Killebrew coming up. Killebrew walked and flew to center. He's coming to the batter's box. Wyatt has taken his warm-ups. And here's Killebrew now. Infield is back. They'll trade a run for the double play. Wyatt, full windup, pitch to Killebrew. That's 3-3, and he walks in a run. That'll be charged to Bass, and Bass is now the loser of record. Bases still loaded, no outs. And Bobby Allison, the batter, again the infield is back. They'll trade another run. Here's the pitch from Wyatt. That's 6-7, right-handed, grounds to second X. Lumpy 2-12 with the infield back. To 12-4-2, G3 pound. Good thing it was back, most likely. 6-10-13. It's going to be a G3, bases loaded, and the runners will advance. So it's second and third, 1 out. That's also charged to Bass. And the second run batted in for Allison, who homered in the third. Infield back for the inning-ending double play. 1 out, second and third. I'm sorry, infield in. Second and third. Wyatt. Pitch to Battey, 6'4", right-handed, catcher X. This could be a problem. Askew, 310. .310, 2-3. Oh, it's a wild pitch. 6'10", 12. Oh, and an error. It is a WG E1. It doesn't tell you what kind of error it is. But we're going to just call it an error on the catcher. A dribbler. And he couldn't find the handle. And that will bring home power. No run batted in. Charge to Bass. We don't know if it's earned or not. If there's a double play here, it will be, that's 1, 2 outs. It would be, if there's an out here, that's going to be unearned. At least that's the way I play it. First error for the A's. Where did Wyatt go? 1 out, first and third, and Bernie Allen, the batter, infield back. Here's the pitch from Wyatt. 5-9, left-handed, struck him out. 2 down. 1, 2, 3. That's unearned. The run by Power is unearned. So that would be 3, 4, 3 earned for Bass and 1 unearned. And the batter is Zoilo Versalles. 2 outs, first and third. 3 runs in, 4-1 Twins now. Here's Wyatt, and the pitch. 5-6, right-handed, struck him out, and the side is retired. So it's 3 runs, 1 of them being unearned. Battey. Two singles, 2 walks, an error, and 2 left on. And in the middle of the 5th, it's 4-1 Minnesota. But that was not a wild pitch. Okay, we move to the bottom of the 5th, and Don Lee takes the mound. On a WG E1, it's error, batter to first. Runners advance 1 base. That's how we score that. Thank you. Okay, that's going to be it for Wyatt. There'll be a hitter. He ends up having pitched 1 inning, full inning. No hits. He walked 1, struck out 2, and no runs. And let's see who's going to hit. Whew. It will be Jose Tartabull. Jose Tartabull. And let's see who's going to come in to pitch. Down 4-1. Oh, Lord. It's going to be someone we haven't brought in for a while yet, actually. And I'll tell you, they have bad they have bad pitching, folks. It's going to be Art Ditmar, a 6.65 ERA. Art Ditmar. He is a right-hander. He'll be the third pitcher. And Jose Tartable will lead it off. Okay, here's Lee now. Lee's first endurance is the 6th. The windup and the pitch to Tartable, left-handed hitter. That's 4-3, left-handed, grounds to third X. For Rollins, 329. Oh. 329, 15-3, G1 gets to it. E29, 6-9, 10. And he throws him out. Tartable is retired, 1 away. Top of the order, Dick Hauser, 0 for 2. Lee into his windup. The pitch to Hauser. 6-8, right-handed base hit, Dick Hauser. Hauser is on 1-19, being held. 1-18, 1-16. And he's a 5 and a 6. He's going to go for it. 1-16 doesn't get it. He's being held. And now Bobby Del Greco comes to the plate with Hauser on first, 1 down. Here's the pitch from Lee. It's 2-8, right-handed, struck him out. Third strikeout for Don Lee, 2 away. Don Lee was 11-11 on the season. He was eventually traded to the Angels. 31 starts. It's 2 outs with Hauser on first, being held. And Jerry Lumpy is the batter. Here's the pitch. 1-8. Right-handed, hit deep by Lumpy. Into the gap for a double. This might score Hauser. A clutch double, 1-8. That's to center. Green a +2. Hauser rounding. 1-17, 1-19, 1-21, 1-19 max. They'll let him score. Second run off Lee. His first endurance is next inning. That was a clutch double by Lumpy. And now it is a 4-2 ball game. Maybe we shouldn't bring in that other guy. Bring somebody in who can keep him in the ball game. Lumpy Came into this game 5 for 8. He's now 7 for 11 on the season. And here's Norm Seaburn. Seaburn, 6 for 11 on the season. So they've gotten some hitting, Kansas City, but it's been the pitching. And I think we're not going to bring in Ditmar with that 6-point-something ERA. We might bring Osinski in and actually try to win this. Come from behind. Here's Seaburn, 2 for 2. This is also a clutch situation. Here's Lee now, trying to get out of this. That's 3-3, and it's a clutch base hit by Seaburn, 2 asteroids. Oh my, Lumpy scores, and it's 4-3. Action now in the Twins bullpen. It was a 3-3 right-handed clutch reversal. Clutch reversal to a single. Now Seaburn is on, 1-14, not being held. And Leo Posada is the batter. Let's see who's warming for Minnesota. Sullivan pitched last game. We don't need to use him. It will be Joe Bonikowski, who pitched in this game in real world. He's adequate enough. He got the win in real world. Both a starter and a reliever. Bonikowski is warming. That's why I use it as a guideline, because, I'd have to start rummaging through games on Baseball Reference to see if Bonikowski starts on the 13th, the 14th, whatever. If he pitched in this game in real world, he's good to go. So Seaburn is on, not being held. 2 outs. He's on first. Here's Posada. Lee trying to get out of this once again. Here's the pitch to Posada. That is 2-6 right-handed. Fly ball right. This should end the inning. Allison is under it. He makes the catch, and the side is retired. But 2 runs for the Kansas City Athletics. On 3 hits and 1 left on. And after 5, it's 4-3 Minnesota. And let's see who's coming in. It's not going to be Ditmar after all. That's house rules. Until you actually place the pitcher, you don't have to put him in. Especially when I'm playing solitaire. This is Osinski, a right-hander, and he can play through April, and then he goes to the minors, and then he goes to I think it's the Angels, on July 24. That's thanks to, I believe, Joel Horland told me that. Or maybe it was Baseball Demos. It will be Osinski. He did not pitch last game, so he is good to go. We'll write him in when that dries. Osinski is ready. And here's Rich Rollins, top of the 6th, 4-3 ball game. Okay, Osinski into his windup to pitch to Rollins. That is 5-4 right-handed, fly ball center X. Del Greco, 2-7. 2-7, 15-2. F2 gets to it. E7, 4-5-6. And he makes the catch. Rollins flies to Del Greco in center, and here comes Lee. Yes, he's gonna hit here. He's 2 for 2, and his first endurance will be the bottom of the 6th. He has allowed 3 runs in. I am so sorry. I'm getting a phone call that I have to take. You remember, it's family first here. I will resume this when I get done with my phone call, hopefully. I am so sorry.